Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What's up, people? Welcome back to the TV Terminal. My name's Adam Vale, Senior Editor over at thecoalition.com. I'm joined by my boy, Kim Burke. What's up, Kim?
What up?
Get hyped. Get hyped.
What up?
This was the butter episode. This was what we all wanted. This is what we were waiting for. Nothing but chaos, Macaulay Culkin. Oh, it was everything we wanted and more. Right?
It was a crazy episode.
Okay, it really wasn't all that, people. You know what I'm saying. It really wasn't all that. I'm just
it was a cliffhanger we all expected. You know what I mean? A lot going on in it, and it had its moments, you know.
Yeah, we knew. I mean, once they announced that they had a season 2 and season 3 back to back, it's like, all right, that's because you got a long form story here. Just like we saw the cliffhanger from season 1, New Vegas, a flyer. I was like, oh, here we go. And then now we're getting this and a few other surprises because we see the Ghoul is uncharted territory where he's going, at least in regards to the game. And I saw there were some people in the comments that were like, I hope it deviates from the game. I want to see something new. I want to be surprised. Well, here you go. It sounds like, right? It sounds like you're going to get that. And that's fine. You want that. You don't want it to deviate too far. We goofed on Halo and how that would off the rails. You go too far off.
You don't want it off the rails. You want some originality.
Don't want it. Yep. All right, so real quick housekeeping. Thanks everybody for sticking with us this entire season. It's been great. You guys have been fantastic in the comments and the likes and then spreading the word like, yo, these dudes over here talking. It's not just AI. Look what we found. Oh my Lord. But right there you go. Thanks to everybody. Love you guys. We're still covering other shows. We just recorded 2 episodes across, which we're getting ready for that. That's going to be cool. Then I got Monarch Legacy of Monster season 2 going to be covering that with Josh and a bunch of other things coming. But just want to get that out the way. Thank you. This is the finale. Let's get into it. So this is season 2, episode 8, The Strip. And this is what we were wondering, right? It was like, you're going to have a big fight. Something's going to take place. It's going to be here in New Vegas. And we see it. We see the Legion. We finally get back to Macaulay and his crew. Remember, they were 2 factions fighting to see who's going to be the new Kaiser.
Right.
And he finds the one that is the Kaiser. He's dead. Another soldier comes over. All right, who's going to be the new Kaiser? And then he grabs a piece of paper. It definitely didn't say his name, that's for sure. Because
it said no one's name. It basically said when the last Caesar died, he expected the Legion to die with him.
That epic fail. That's not happening.
That wasn't going to happen.
No one's going to do that. That's it. Disband. Everybody go back to your farm life or wherever the hell you were living. Nope.
Yeah.
Somebody always has to take the mantle. And he looks at the guy and he's like, I'm done. He kills him because he's the only other witness. And then he picks up the headpiece, walks out.
He ate the note so nobody could find him.
That's one way. I mean, with all the disaster and stuff, you could have ripped it up in pieces. I'm telling you, I don't think anybody has Scotch tape.
I'm surprised he could read. I'm surprised they could read.
Maybe he couldn't read. He looked at it for a long time. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it said 3 things, and it's something like "Long live me, long live that," and then the Legion's dead.
You know? So who knows? Jibber jabber. It could have been going through his head, right? So he's like, whatever. If there's anything here that sort of could have been more, it's his enthusiasm. If Macaulay Culkin, now he's the new Kaiser, you got all these people that he was like, they see him with the headset, they're cheering, they're like, this is Kaiser. It would have been great if he would have been like, that's right, and he give a whole speech. You got all these people, but he's very monotone with the whole thing, and he's like, and we are going to go to New Vegas
and start our kingdom from there. We'll build our castle.
That was like, oh, really? That's how you're going to deliver this speech? I mean, this is your first big speech. You are now the big boss. This is how you deliver it. But hey, that could be the character. and it's not poo-pooing on Macaulay Culkin's acting ability. Maybe this is how they wanted him to deliver a line. This is how the character is going to carry himself. Who knows? Well, I'm sure he'll have a bigger part.
I can't imagine it wasn't what they asked for, because
of course.
I mean, you would have taken that scene a few times, and if the director wanted him to yell, he probably would have.
Oh yeah. But for me, that's not what I wanted. What about you guys? What about you, Ken? I don't know.
I expected him to be a little bit more of a blowhard. He just put the laurel on his head. He's now the leader of the Legion, which is a huge organization. I would have thought he would have been more amped.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Take your weapon out, like hold it up,
do the whole I need you now, or
that's it. Get very Spartacus, exactly. Come on, get the people hyped. So anyway, there goes that. We cut over, we get back to how the last episode left off. The Ghoul looking at the monitor house. So a lot of people thrilled to see that view. They were like, finally, we got House back, and it's like, because this is how people that played the games, this is how we remember him. We never really saw him walk on physical. He was always on the screen.
Mr. House was always the computer, right?
He was always on the computer. So he's there. Ghoul's talking to him, trying to figure out. It's like, well, where's my family? And he's like, well, I could help you. And he's like, well, how about I destroy this, the dial here? What happens if I do that?
Fusion, yeah.
It's like, I don't know. We never thought about it. You could do that, but it's not going to help you any.
Well, he said, well, it's never been done before, so this is a little bit of a new scenario. But considering the amount of power in there, if you were to explode it, it would probably take out another planet. So you're like, wow, damn.
Maybe. It's who knows, But then again, it doesn't really benefit the Ghoul at all. It was more like one of those, like,
it was an empty threat.
Empty threat. It's like, if I do this, then what? Then everything's over. You get nothing. You're right. All right. That doesn't help me. So he was like, all right, I want my family. Well, you're gonna have to pick up that device and then take me with you, and then I'll take you to your family.
Yeah, he had a specially made house pit boy.
Yeah, house pit boy. I will house you. That's all I think about every time I hear that. Goddamn house music. Big part of my life, man. You trick. But anyway, he tells him that whole thing, and then that's it. Another quick cut. Boom. We got Thaddeus, Maximus, Deathclaws, and a bunch of the people in Freeside. Just
the Freesiders. Yeah.
Yep. The Freesiders. Everyone's freaking out. If you remember, the Deathclaw tail whipped Maximus through the real flimsy fence. We can go on forever regarding how this was the only thing holding these things back. This fence.
Never mind.
Never mind. So anyway, he gets up and hey, smart decision. He's like, you know what? Everybody run. Just run. So they start running indoors. Thaddeus is trying to guide them, do the whole thing. While Maximus is running, at some point, I don't know if he triggers something, but then he's like, oh, it says weapons activated.
Yeah.
Right?
That NCR suit was a much cooler suit than any of the Brotherhood suits that we had seen.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's got rockets, so he's like, he's shooting rockets, and the whole fight takes place, right? He's shooting at it, he's fighting it, then it's getting crazy.
Yeah, there was this was a good action scene. All the Freesiders and Thaddeus and everybody, they run back into the chem shop that Lucy had been into earlier. That's what it felt like. That's what it looked like. And immediately there's a bookie amongst them, and he and she start taking bets on who's gonna win or how fast or how long he can last and everything. I thought that was that
was funny, and it was multiple times, but it makes sense. They're in Vegas. So it's like, even though times have passed, and who knows the last time they actually placed a legit bet, but I guess they are still gambling, and they're like, they're not going to stop. And I mean, so anyway, we jump over to Lucy, see where she's at. She's still in that room. The door closes behind her. She doesn't even acknowledge it. I would have freaked because that was a big heavy
with
door.
The head, with the senator.
Yeah, she's in it with the head in there, and I'm thinking, oh no, now I'm stuck. She doesn't even react. So it's like, whatever.
She's shocked. She's in shock that there's a head on the table.
There's a head on the table.
Thinking cap attached to computers.
Right, exactly. You got the tapes, old school. They're doing the tapes, doing the backups and running.
They're doing the old IBM 2000. Yep.
Yeah, and she was like, "Are you alive?" And then it starts moaning, and then it does say, "Yep, exactly." And
kill me.
kill me. And said, why does everybody want me to kill them? Why do I have to do? Because everyone's in a horrible situation. Okay. The surface, no bueno. This was not a good idea.
No
yeah,
bueno.
you could have been bored down in the vault and all that, but once you come out, spend a little bit of time out here, and you see how bad things are, you had it peachy creamy down there. Just go right back. I mean, honestly, you people too. What do you think? If this was you in this situation and you go out, do you still venture and start exploring, or do you say, you know what? I think I had it pretty good. Let me head back.
The problem with this, then this has always been, they present you with the same issue in every Fallout game you ever play.
Mhm.
The vaults have a finite amount of resources. They were never really meant to last forever. They're gonna run out of air, they're gonna run out of water, they're gonna run out of food, they're gonna run out of all sorts of stuff, you know. So to
Some
go
of them,
back to the vault, I don't know.
I get that. I get that. Unless if you ever played any of the Far Cry games, they all have this really quick ending where you don't have to do what they're telling you to do, and then it rolls the credits. It would just be funny if, like, when the door opens for Fallout, they go out and work. It's like, nah, I'll stay here.
Credits.
And then the door closed, credits, you get a Chivo or a trophy, and then that's it. Game's over.
That's
you can
it.
bring it back to GameStop if that was where you bought it, but no one goes there anymore. All right, so then we jump over to Norman. All right, Norman, you know what? Again, with this story,
They're dragging poor homie around
exactly. You know how I feel, people. Some people came at me with all this. They're like, oh, you don't like it, but everything else. This is this really didn't go anywhere. They're playing the long game with the Norman story.
Yes, I told you. I think this is his hero arc. He has to suffer, you know.
Something else has to happen. But yeah, they're dragging him through Vault Tech. I guess the new dude did not hear the two ladies when they said, hey, whatever you do, don't open up the elevator shaft. That's our roach farm. Okay, just can you not touch that? He didn't hear, because then the first thing he does is press for the elevator.
He threw Claudia against it because Claudia came running trying to help Norm. What are you going to do to Norm? Leave Norm alone. And he was like, get off me, Claudia, out of the room. And he threw her.
My bad. I thought he threw her off and he pressed it like to, get out. My bad. Right. No. But anyway, yeah, it triggers, doors open, and then someone's like, oh, I guess it's not that bad. And oh man,
roaches everywhere
in the face, in the gut, chasing them, eating them, bodying them, the whole thing. The ones that are still around make a run for a back room area. They bring Claudia. I was surprised with that, because I would have thought, because they start kicking Norman. Norman's like, they're like, no, you can't.
Yeah, they don't want to let Norm in the room. He's the last person. And ironically, he was the last person to get to the room because he was smacking roaches and he was holding his own.
He was holding his own.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
No fear.
And he gets to the door and a little heroic, right? And then they're like, no, you can't come in. You're a jerk, whatever. And because they were arguing with Norm, the roaches started getting in and they couldn't close the door fast enough. And when the door does close, the only safe person is now Norm, because all the people are and the roaches are in the room. So,
yeah. That was it. And he hides under the table. And that was the other thing. Yeah, they go in there, they're eating them. You hear all the screaming, all this stuff. He's really lucky. You know what I mean? It's like that he's under a table, an open table, a wide area. I would have thought maybe if he found another little hiding spot, or maybe under a cupboard or something,
Yeah.
Very open. The roaches are small. Whatever. You know what? It is what it is. All right. The dude lives. All right, we get a quick scene with the Ghoul. He's walking down the long hallway. House is guiding him. He was like, all right, this is it.
House is talking to him the whole time through his
boy. Just telling him all this stuff. It's like, all right, yeah, I get it. Love that Pip Boy. Love all the Pip Boys. I was going to get, a long time ago, there was that attachment piece for your phone. Yeah. But it only fit on like the 5-inch phones. And I, at the time, already had the 6-inch phone. So I was like, what a waste. But anyway, we get Maximus. They go back. He's fighting the Deathclaw. This was a pretty long battle with all of this, and now it's chomping on him. He's shooting all his weapons. He's fighting this. This is, again, when we were talking about with the bets. The people inside are like, oh, are we going to go help him? It's always one like, I'm not going out there. I'm not doing this. Like, all right, well, let's start placing the bets then. I guess that's what we're going to do.
Well, a couple of people still looking out the window, including Thaddeus, and Thaddeus sees him take out like one, and then he takes out another. He took out about 3 or 4 of them.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, you know what? I'm gonna bet on my homie. And he walks into the
Yeah.
ring of people placing bets, and he's like, I'm putting 500 caps on my homie to win. And everybody's like, your homie to win? That's a pretty far-fledged bet. But
I do that for you, man. I do that for
thank
you.
you. I appreciate it.
You.
Thank you. I would do it for you.
Mhm.
But and then they're like, oh, you don't have 500 caps. And he had a stash of his old
money for days. Remember, people counterfeit.
Yeah,
that's with the
out.
Kids.
Yep.
He had
those
all
kids
of that.
are dead by now.
Oh, yeah, right. Exactly. Well, those kids. Well, no, you know what? Maybe they are still alive. Maybe they're still, because he left them alone, and it looks like, well, we don't know if the Brotherhood ever went back. But there goes that. He's still fighting. They're biting. They're betting. It's chaos on the strip, right? Which is
But Maximus is definitely starting to be worn down.
Oh yeah. He's
starting to mess him up. Yeah, he's taking a beat, and he's already beat like 3 or 4 of them, and he starts losing. And then we cut.
Yep. Then we cut. We jump over to Lucy really quick, and this was interesting because I was like, all right, something else is going to happen here. But she's walking down the hall. Now, as we know, this looks like the same location where the Ghoul is walking down. Like, if you look at the halls, they're both walking. So
I made that connection.
Yeah, in the last episode, we thought it was like, oh, they're gonna open up the vault, right? And they're gonna bump into each other. Oh, surprise! That didn't happen. But here, it definitely looks like I was expecting them to turn a corner and then just be like, oh,
Ghoul's there because he knows his family's there in the cryo, right? And she and Hank are there from the storyline that's theirs already. So I had a funny feeling they were gonna
it was getting really quick because, like you said, the house is talking to the Ghoul. Every time they cut, you just hear him talking through the Pip Boy saying. But there was some key information in this section here, because he does says, hey, by the way, the Deathclaws out there, that wasn't me. I didn't bring them out here. Someone else sent the Deathclaws to New Vegas.
Yeah,
he had said before that somebody they tried to shoot him, they tried to poison him, they hit him with a crowbar and all that stuff. People out to kill him.
Well, he's been harping since he met Cooper way back in the pre-war days that there's another player that he doesn't know who it is, and it's in this episode that he starts telling the Ghoul / Cooper exactly who that third party wound up being. Right?
It's getting there, but I mean, we pretty much get the answer, right? It's got to be the government. That's what we're going to, and they bring this up. But as Lucy's walking through, she sees Hank. He comes up. He's nice, okay. He's freed. Someone helped him out, whatever. And she's like, "Why is this happening? What was the goal?" And he goes into it. Pretty much everything that we know. House was trying to automate humans. He was going to erase memories. All that was happening, and what Hank wanted to do was perfect it. He wanted to tweak things up. This is the part that sort of lost me.
Yeah, he wanted to give them personality. He didn't want them to be robots. He was saying,
but you get the Congresswoman, because that's what she said. She was like, well, then what's up with the Congresswoman's head here? Well, that's what I was trying to do, and try to really. Was she the person that you want to grab her personality? What? I don't
it was exactly. So basically, he explained to Lucy that he was using the Congresswoman's head because she fits the personality type that he wanted to create amongst all the followers, the chip people, right?
Yeah.
You know, he mentions the Myers-Briggs, which is a current psychometric tool that measures your personality type. And, you know, she's caring and giving and all those things. And he wanted his chip people to be that. And that's why he hooked her up to the computer, which fed them their attitudes.
I don't know. I'm not buying it. But hey, it is what it is. It's just something about it didn't trigger with me. It was like, oh, wow, this makes perfect sense. I don't know. People, what did you think of that? That makes sense to you? Whatever. I visually, it was great to see the cryo head and all the kill me. I love it all, but the story and the reasoning that Hank gives, right over my head. I'm not feeling it. But anyway,
but it made Lucy feel a particular way. She was starting to doubt herself.
Oh yeah,
and then Hank continued the conversation by taking out another chip.
Yeah.
Showing it to her.
He shows the other chip, right? He's getting ready, right? He wants his little girl back. But then we'll get into it, because then we jump real quick back. House Ghoul is still walking down the hall. House is still talking to him, and then says he blames him, blaming the Ghoul, blaming Cooper. and we get a flashback, and we see Cooper with Barb, and they're still, I guess they're still in Vegas, right? They're still like in the lobby area, whatever. They see Hank, and Hank is with Harper, Stephanie there. And he's like, "Oh, this is great. Thanks. I don't know what you said to her, but she's fantastic. She's like got all these other credentials besides just being a maid." Did they get married, or did he just propose?
He proposed to her, yeah,
and they
at
did
4
get
a.m.
married.
in the morning. Yeah, well,
Right,
they're gonna get married. They're gonna get married.
They're gonna get married, right? All right. So that's what I was wondering, because it's like the way he made it seem like he's like, "Oh, maybe we can find a job for her, right, Barb?" And he's like, I don't know, but well, whatever.
Yeah.
And
Awkward nonetheless, to say the least. It was an awkward,
very awkward. And what's crazy to think that, I'm sure, and we know this is the really real world, things like this happen in Vegas. I'm sure it's happened many times where somebody meets somebody, maybe at the casino,
the maid,
a few hours, made somebody, and then they're like, "You want to get married?" Yeah, you could do it. You could also get it annulled like that. But hey, it is what it is. It was a funny moment, right? So then that's where we go back. We get back with Lucy and Hank, and this is where he starts talking about the whole perfection thing and all that stuff. And then he shows the thing for the neck, and we see the other dude come out. Now this was.
Yeah, the big redheaded guy that was one of the Legionnaires that they just converted a couple episodes ago. He's an intimidating looking dude. He's pretty big, So you, the viewer, right away get the idea that, Lucy's in trouble.
Yeah, because he says, "I want my little girl back." He says, "My job is complicated. Everything. You're not going to understand this. You're not understanding. This world is not for you, and this is." And then she's like, "No." She goes to back up. The guy grabs her, starts choking her.
She whacks him good with that crowbar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she still got the crowbar. But we're like, all right, is this going to happen? Is this where it happens? And then she dies. No, she doesn't. We still get the Cooper. He's still looking around and he's trying to figure things out. Now, House brings this up and he said, "What, the 7th floor? Is that what is it? Or section 7 is where the family is?" Section 7, right? Okay. Right. So then that happens and it does another cut. And this is where you started complaining. It's like, well, what's with all the cuts?
Yeah, they were cutting really fast back and forth for the middle of the show. Went rapid fire, scene for scene for scene for scene. And like you said, it builds tension. That's the point, right?
Yep. It builds a tension because then we jump back to Maximus. And then Maximus is, he's this Deathclaws on him, it's biting, it's doing all stuff, and then we have shot. Right? He looks over, Thaddeus is up there. He's doing it. He's sniped. He's like, "Yeah, I got it."
Minus an arm.
He
had the gun between his toes. He was aiming with his foot.
That's some skill. Badass skill. Right. Yeah, he takes up, but then there's one problem. Got to reload. That's a little difficult.
Yeah, that took him like 20 minutes.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. He didn't even get a chance to really do it because Deathclaws just took the shot and just kept coming at him. And just kept biting and fighting him. And he's on his back this whole time, Maximus, fighting this Deathclaw. And he's not feeling too great about this. It's like, oh, is this it? Is this what's going to happen?
He takes out another one, but he doesn't have it in him. And he looks up and there's like another 2 or 3 left. And
it's getting overwhelming. Now, the only thing, it doesn't suck, but then it's like, at any point, did you think his life was in danger? Did you really think this is going to be the end of him?
That's not fair. You can't ask that.
I know I can't ask
so
exactly.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. We know. Well, I'm pretty sure, and I'm sure people
we
put in
were
the
pretty
comments,
sure
he wasn't going to die. Now, if Thaddeus was in a suit and next to him, or if they were both in suits and the Deathclaw is on him, and
Thaddeus
Maximus
is expendable, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he's that's it. R.I.P. buddy. Yeah, out. The show's over for you. All right. So anyway, we get Lucy and Hank. They're dealing with this. She's getting choked by this. They're getting ready to put the chip on her. She's freaking out. No, I can't believe.
Yeah, homie has her bent over the railing.
In
order to put the chip in her. Yeah, it's a bad
scene. The Ghoul puts him down. Pop.
Yeah, without even seeing him, he was behind Hank the whole time.
Yeah.
He shoots him in the ass.
Well, he shoots it was the main dude. He shoots the big burly dude that was choking her. But then he shoots Hank in the ass, and he's like, "Oh, you shot me." It's like, yeah, well, it's not my job or my role to kill you. That's not up to me.
Yeah, if it was up to me, I wouldn't have shot. Yeah. You wouldn't be bleeding from your head.
Exactly. Yep,
and he slides the gun to
Lucy.
What do you say, Volty?
Yeah, what do you say, Volty? That's a nice line there. That was a nice line. If I wasn't so excited of covering this, I would have had plenty of audio people, but I was like
Yeah,
you
you were
brought
all
up,
in it.
I was all in it, and it was a lot of cuts, and I want to take all the notes, and I'm like, oh, we got to go.
Right.
But yeah, that was a great line. It's up to you, Volty. Again, here we go again. She goes, and then we get another cut. Right, so we jump back to Maximus. Maximus is freaking out. He's got this whole thing happening where the Deathclaw is now chomping on himself. And finally, we get the flashback that we were asking for way back when we saw it, where we assumed it was Maximus that was in the fridge. Right? Remember when the nuke came to the town with the little chip thing and the guy set it off, but the dad knew it was going to happen. He was fixing stuff.
He
was like
put
an
him in the
engineer.
fridge.
Put him in the fridge. We get the moment where he hugs him and he says, hey, you're going to be a great man, this and that. Just be strong. You can do this type of deal. Motivational speech, but he remembered it. He always remembered. And then that's when he's like, you know what? I got to get out of this suit. And then Thaddeus is like, no, don't do this. Everyone inside's like, oh, no, look at this.
Yeah, and he pops out of the suit was me.
Oh, it was a mess.
It wasn't working anymore anyway, so he had to get out.
He had to get out, and what's surprising is I don't know if you were referring to this guy as the bookie, right? The older guy that was talking.
The older black dude. Well, no, the lady with the pad in her hand taking the bets was the bookie, but they seem to know each other and be in cahoots. Those two. So.
Yeah, because he was setting things up in motion before that. But once he saw he was a kid, he's like, oh, he's just a kid. Oh no! And then he grabs a shotgun, and it was like, oh, you had one this whole time. You could have just been booking shots from the distance. It's not going to run at you. It was focusing on Maximus. Whatever. Right? He grabs a shotgun. Maximus then says, yeah, you see more, and he grabs a pool cue. Pool cue. Okay.
He grabs the roulette wheel like it's a shield.
Roulette wheel.
And I thought it was a spear. But then when he walked away and he got into the right angle for the camera to see the whole scene, I'm like, dude, he thinks he's going to fight this Deathclaw with a pool cue?
Well, that was the shocker, because I was like, at first I was like, oh well, yeah, it's a spear, but where would he get a spear? How would he find a spear? You know what I mean? That doesn't fit.
Have you been to Vegas? New Vegas at that?
This stuff. Well, when playing a game, I never saw an option to pick up a roulette wheel and modify it to a shield.
Yeah.
That would be cool. That's a cool idea. Never thought about that. But anyway, he picks it up. And just when this thing is just staring him down and starts charging at him, boom, another shot goes off. Right. And we thought, oh, Thaddeus was able to reload. Nope. Who was it?
It was the original NCR Ranger guy from the New Vegas game. The cover with the whole Ranger suit and the sniper rifle. I want to say Agent 6. I know 6 has something to do with his name. I don't know that it's Agent. It's like
and
Ranger
people that
6
did not
or something
play the
like
game,
that.
You don't even have to stress. Just look at the box art. Just look up New Vegas box art.
Yeah,
that is the guy.
Yeah, he's all over the art for
he's all over
Vegas. So he's a hero. And obviously he saves Maximus. He snipes a couple.
Yeah, nice slow-mo. They were doing the bullet time. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And while that's happening, we hear this marching in the background. And sure enough, the NCR in town. All nicely suited up.
NCR flag and all in a line, all militaried up,
And the woman that he met that had the other soldier, the NCR person,
up in the hills,
the last there. Yep. And then she says, "Don't worry about this. We got it." And he's like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
No, he looked over his shoulder at the remaining Deathclaws. There was like 2 or 3 left. He's like, "Yeah, that's probably a good idea."
Yep, exactly. So
I can't. I'm out.
You got this. Exactly. So that was pretty cool. What we don't see is Maximus collect the bet. Well, he doesn't know that he won any of this stuff.
Yeah,
he has to go in and pick up the money, but who knows? That's going to be interesting to see if that gets played out later on.
That doesn't resolve this. Yeah.
No, doesn't do it. So then we see Lucy and Hank, and then they're walking out, but we do notice that he does have the device on his neck, and she's holding the controller. She's getting ready. Yep,
the
the
little
little
black
black
box.
box. And he starts talking about life. And he's like, you don't understand. He was like, the vault wasn't the experiment. This was the experiment. All of this.
The
The
outside, the
outside,
wasteland,
because she kept talking about it's like, oh, I
the
was always
surface.
hoping. Yeah, the surface. I was always hoping to come out here with you and we were gonna have these experiences. It'll be great. And it's like, stop. This
Yeah.
is not what's going on here.
She lays it in and she's like, "You're not the dad I thought you were. You lied to me my whole life. Tell me for real what the purpose was. What is your job?" And right when he's gonna kind of spill the beans, he reaches in his own pocket
But right before he does that, he said he sent out a bunch
of
to
people with
trigger
the
those.
little chips.
Yeah, with the chips. He said they're all over the wasteland. He said
Mhm.
they're already out there. They're spreading the whole thing. And then he takes out something else in his pocket.
The little black box. So
Mhm.
she has one in her hand, he has one in
Mhm.
his hand, and she doesn't realize it because he's kind of turned a little bit sideways from her, and she's still asking questions. And then she sees the box in his hand, and he just kind of looks at her and he does it to himself, presses the button, and
Mhm. Yeah, he does it to himself and he
Mhm.
wipes his memory. Now, this was crazy because he doesn't know her at all. And she's crying. At first, we weren't sure. Maybe because he sort of slumped for a little
yeah, he
bit.
looked dead almost,
Yeah.
right?
So it's like, oh, yeah, he just brain dead him. Like, phew, he just shut his
Mhm.
brain off. But that wasn't the case. It was just a wipe. And
Snaps
he's like,
out of it.
oh, miss. And he wiped something off her face. You have something in your face. And he's looking at her and has no idea who she
Yeah,
is.
she realizes he's never gonna, her hopes of putting the chip in him and using the little box to control him. She thought that she could get the ideal father back. And in this moment, she realizes that he's never going to remember who I am now. So
No.
she cries and she starts to walk away, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, because he even called her his sugar bomb right before. Like he knew. He was like, this is it. Goodbye. And she
Yeah.
walks away. She was like, oh man, I can't believe this has happened.
Mhm.
It was very interesting with that scene because she's looking around lost. And it makes sense. This was her goal, to find this man.
It was
to
the
bring him
whole
back.
first season, and the second season was to get to her dad and hold him responsible for all his crimes, both in the vault and him blowing up the town. Oh,
Yeah. Well, while she's doing that, this whole thing, we see Maximus off in the distance. And he just sees her and she sees him and they walk close to each other. I was expecting a little more here too. I was expecting some running and maybe
a
like
little
more for
smoochy, but
because they
they
triggered
broke
that
up.
and
They didn't kiss in the first episode. They were friends. They got close. You know what I'm saying? But
no.
they weren't romantic in the first season or anything like that.
I get
But
that. You're right.
I got the funny feeling Maximus kind of wants that to be the case, and she said she's no virgin. So
Right?
we'll
But
see what
exactly.
happens.
She had cousins, man. She had cousins,
Yeah.
But no,
That doesn't even count the
no.
things I've done with my cousins.
Exactly. It doesn't even count. But then again, wasn't the guy that she was messing with that they were going to set up the marriage? And when we found out that he was a raider,
Yeah, he was a raider.
That was whole thing. So I think that's where that whole thing comes up. But then we jump real quick to Harper, her situation, where people are chanting, open up. They're still rallying the whole thing. Right. And she does open it up, but not to the door. She opens up the vault, the little box that she had.
Case, the Hank McClane.
Yep, exactly.
Interesting point about that, though, is that now we realize up until this point, we didn't understand the connection with her and Hank McClane. And now that you've seen the pre-war that she met him at the hotel when he was younger, and now they're going to be married. Now in this scene that Steph is actually Hank McClane's wife.
Yep.
And they had this plan. They were on the inside of the whole.
Yeah. And they were together at the other vault because we know that Hank and Betty, they were part of the other vault, Vault 32. They were there and then they went to Vault 33. So clearly then there was 3 because then we got, Harper. That was the wife. So she picks up the conclave pet boy that's there. She activates it. She gives the command, I am the wife of Harper. I mean, of Hank McClane and the whole thing. She gives a speech. It activates it.
What'd she say though? She was like, activate phase 2.
Yep, initiate phase 2.
Yeah.
What is phase 2? Do you know what phase 2 is?
I'm telling you, I still think it's going to be the FEV virus. I think they're going to turn Vault 33 or 32 or whichever one they're all in now.
Well, we see a new location, that's for sure. And you said, hey, this looks like Brooklyn. Right?
Oh, well, I mean, that's not fair. I happen to know that they filmed that scene there. Yeah.
Oh, you see, that's cheating. That's cheating.
Yeah.
That's cheating.
Well,
that's
I
cheating.
mean,
why are you cheating?
It's where I'm from. What can I say?
I don't know what you're talking about. I never heard of that place.
Yeah.
So then they show that, and they do another overhead shot, which is not Brooklyn, another location, but we hear other voices. It's like activation. Something's going on. This definitely is triggering.
The whole point of this scene, though, is to establish that third person that House was talking about, it's not a person, it's a group, and it's the enclave. And for those people who played the games, you know that the enclave is the remnants of the United States government.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that was who the third player was that House couldn't figure out. They're the ones that have been controlling things from the very beginning.
So this has to be notifying phase 2 then. That has to be it.
They're in control of whatever phase 2 is. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. All right. So then there goes that. Right. We're done with that whole section for the season. Then we jump to Norman. Norman survived the roach attack. He goes into the room. Surprise, surprise. What, the roaches, they stuffed? Did they just all kill themselves, collapse? Or they're like the bees, they sting and then they die?
Yeah, it looked like everybody, it looked like everybody in the room was dead. There was blood everywhere. People missing arms.
It was a mess.
Half a leg, right? But the roach closest to Claudia had a big old screwdriver in it. So I think,
she took that one out. She killed
it before it could get her. But she was on the floor all knocked out.
Yeah. But I'm sure a lot of people watching was like, come on now. It's like there was a whole bunch of them in there, but whatever. It's just for the moment. So he takes a look at Claudia, and sure enough, she's okay. Well, sort of. And he's like, come on, let's go. Let me get you out of here.
He helps her up and out, right?
Yep. He helps her up and out. And that was it. We see him just dragging her on like a little skid thing, taking her. Yeah, wherever. I have no idea where they're going.
Oh, he said, let me help you get home. So I think he's heading back to the vault.
Oh, yes, that's right. He did say that.
I think he's taking Claudia back to 31.
Well, it makes sense. He doesn't know anywhere else to go. I don't know how long it took to get to Vault-Tec HQ because that's where all this took place. But he's heading out. But anyway, we jump over to the Ghoul. This was important, right? Because the Ghoul gets to the location now, and he's looking around. While he's looking around, he has a flashback, and this is back to that same location. It looks like it's the same time period.
Airport.
Bump into Hank. Yeah, right.
It's at the airport. They're all at the airport, ready to get on their flight and go their ways.
Because he's hearing a phone ring, and we know what
all the phones ring.
Well, after a while, first it was one phone, and then he passes it, and then another, and another. Next, it's like all the
every phone he's walking by in the airport starts ringing, so he knows it's for him. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And he picks it up, and it's Mr. House, right?
Yep, it's Mr. House. And he still blames him for all this stuff. Like, this is it. Get ready. So this is where it gets interesting because now he made it to the section.
Yeah.
And he's right in front of the cryo chamber. And
Barbara Cooper.
Yep. And House says, hey, want me to open it? What's he gonna say? No, and turn around? No, he says, yeah, open it. Let's get this going. He's getting more flashbacks, thinking about his wife and the whole thing.
This is a choice made in editing with that flip flop, pre-war, post-war, pre-war, post-war, all with the same character, so that you understand pre-war why he says what he says and why he says what he says in the post-war era too.
Because when we get that flashback again, we see that he's getting arrested once he hangs up the phone, right? It says, oh, you're being arrested, the whole thing. But then they did another
conspiracy against the government.
He did conspiracy against the government, the whole thing. But then we see there was another real quick flash that he's talking to Barb and saying, just act real surprised. He knew it was going to happen. They're going to come.
I did this by myself.
Exactly.
You had nothing to do with it.
Right. That's ignore it. It's fine. It's all me.
But and he whispered something in her ear, and she's like, "Oh, maybe we shouldn't go back to LA." And he says something about Colorado, or he's like, "Oh, I don't know. Maybe Colorado's better." Something like that.
It could be, but then it comes up here because as soon as the cryo chamber opens up, there is a card there, and that's Colorado.
First he's taken aback. He's shocked that when the cryo chamber opens and all the smoke finally clears, all the blue smoke clears, the seat in it is empty.
Uh-huh.
And then he looks up at Janie's container, and she's not in it either. So both the wife and the daughter aren't in the cryo chamber, and he's like, "Oh no, I've been looking for 250." And then Mr. House starts getting in his ear. "Oh, I'm so sorry, my friend. I realize you've been searching for them for 200 years. It's hard. It's a smack in the face for the Ghoul,
Mm-hmm.
But then when he looks a little closer, he sees a little postcard on the floor of the chamber, in his wife's chamber. And he looks down, and it's a postcard from this great state of Colorado. And flips it over to, it's her handwriting, and it says Colorado was a good idea.
Shit, I remember going to a going away party for you when you went to Colorado. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's I always remember that. Yep, good times. So then we jump over back to right before we even leave, he takes off the pit boy there and he just drops it.
Oh yeah, he's like, he don't want to deal with Mr. House any longer.
Like, you're gonna need me. No, I don't need this. I already know what I got.
No, we got business, and he goes, not with me.
Not with me. I'm done with that.
But for the first time, the Ghoul smiles because now he knows for sure
where
his wife is alive. And she's left the chamber and she's went to Colorado, and he knows where he's going.
Oh, that's what you see.
Yeah, he's happy for the first time in 200 years.
Yeah, I'm not thinking that she's alive. I'm thinking that they moved her to another cryo system, but it's in Colorado. That she was placed here, or maybe this was a placeholder or something happened. So you're thinking that she literally got out with the daughter and walking about.
I think she got out of the cryo chamber. I don't know if somebody let her go. I don't know if it was Hank. I don't know what happened, but she's out. That's obvious, right? Mm-hmm. And it's her handwriting. It's a lady's handwriting on the back of the card. So she left that there as a clue for Howard to find.
Oh wow, that's playing a long game. If you think Howard's
it is.
We'll see. The people in the comments, what do you think? Was that card left for Howard? Or was that just like, oh, we're gonna just put this here just so that way if anyone comes looking, because this is assigned to this person, the person didn't make it here. Sorry, the person was already assigned to another unit over in Colorado. That's what I got from it. I didn't think.
Well, don't forget, in the pre-war scenes. And this is why it was important that they kept bouncing back and forth. They were still in Vegas when there was the Vegas airport they were at with the phone call from House, and then the government, the enclave, coming to arrest Howard Cooper and take him away, which means that they were all still in Vegas when it went down.
Yeah.
So that means she had to have been in that vault. She was there when it all happened.
But then also, I guess so. Because then they in that whole flashback, they show a glimpse of the president, looking all shady. Remember?
But he wasn't even working for the United States anymore at this point. You realize now that Cooper gave the enclave the cold fusion pre-war.
He caused the problem, and that's why House kept blaming him for everything. It was like, this is all you did this. You did this. So anyway. Right after he does that, we get a quick look at Macaulay, the Kaiser with the Legion whole thing. Their army, they're marching to New Vegas.
They got him up on the chair.
Got him up on the chair. It's carrying him around. Life is good for this journey here. Right. Let's see. So then when we get there, it looks like the dial is broken, right? Because we see Maximus and Lucy. And they're walking around the area, look to the outside of it, but they passed that same area where the Ghoul had the dial to activate House. And you said you noticed that it was off. It looked like it was taken out.
The computer?
Yeah, the computer.
The House computer.
Yeah.
But the next scene you see Maximus and Lucy up on the top floor where the big House computer is, but it said signal loss, like it did when the Ghoul walked in last episode, and then he put the battery in. So it gives you the view of the impression that Ghoul came back, snatched the cold fusion or destroyed it. Well, we know if he destroyed it, it would have blown everything up.
It would have blown everything up.
Right. So you assume that he took the cold fusion battery and killed computer house, right?
Well, that's a long trip from the basement all the way up. Remember, we saw the whole long.
They made it. That's where they wind up at the end, right?
Yeah. But I mean, how did they get there before he did? I don't know. Timing.
No,
whatever.
He got there before they did. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, I'm saying it's all right. Well, maybe. Well, yeah, it's got to be. Something happened. Either way, it was gone because we see them. They're overlooking at the skyline. They're like, "Yeah, I can't believe it just started a war." And
yeah.
Like,
well, did you notice they're looking down the long avenue that leads to Vegas, and the Legion is down there marching?
Oh yeah, they can
Vegas.
see it.
You saw that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because that's why she said it. She was like, "I can't believe it just started a war." This is what's going to happen now. And he's like, "Hey, well, welcome to the wasteland." I mean,
because he said that same line like 5 episodes ago. So I think I just started a war.
Yeah, he said, "Yep, exactly." It's like, "Oh, he should have been like, join the club." I did that.
Yeah.
I got a war coming on, and then it was really cool because he's just sticking his hand out. Like to hold her hand, and I was wondering if she was gonna like shoo it off.
Right.
I was like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Oh, nothing." But no, she holds his hand, and I got this Fight Club feel. Remember at the very end where the two are holding hands, and all the credit card buildings are crumbling down. And they're playing the Pixies and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, it's that." And this is it. It's happening.
That would have been a cool ad right there, right?
Very cool, very cool. But then the camera pans back. We see one of the monitors on the side, and it flickers. So
the house computer flickers, and for a hot second, you see Mr. House's face again. So he's still around.
He's still around. We get a quick glimpse of the Ghoul, and he's out in the wasteland. We know exactly where he's going.
Well, they show the mountains. They show the Rockies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we know, but I mean. Yeah,
we way to Colorado.
Exactly, right? Just look at the mountain, follow mountains. Now, I just hope he has enough supplies, just to keep himself from ghouling out all the way.
So this is what you were referencing in the beginning of this episode. The fact that it looks like they're going to stray from the IP. They're going to stray from the video game IP.
Yeah.
Because at no point are we in contact. Now, I will say the older games, Fallout 1, Fallout 2, make
the interplay one. Yep.
They make mention of Colorado, Arizona, Nevada. I mean, we all see Nevada with New Vegas, right? But the whole wasteland, and Colorado was included in that. And if you've played any of the wasteland stuff, which was inspired by the original Fallout game,
you start off in Colorado.
Yeah.
In the wasteland stuff. At least Wasteland 3, I remember starting off in Colorado.
I think this could be a really cool, if they do it right, switch up and kind of take us somewhere else. I will say this.
Good.
It's halfway across the country. Then all we got to do in season 4 is get to Washington, and from Washington get to Boston, and so on, etc.
Yeah, and we'll get into the post credits, people. We did see the post credits, but I'm just it makes sense for the Ghoul to go out there, but what would be the motivation for Maximus and Lucy? You know what I mean? How do you connect the two? If you don't, season 3, then they're not going to connect.
Yeah, we're going to be bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, we're going to be bouncing back and forth because it's definitely going to be a big war. At least I'm assuming some kind of big battle is going to take place. With the NCR and then with the Legion. And whatever the chip guys are that are running around crazy. I don't know what commands he gave them, because remember, he says everyone's gonna die. He was like, "This is it." So it wasn't a kill switch, but they're doing something. So going to be interesting to see where that goes. But then we get the post, and this is the one other side story that I was asking a lot of people about. And it's like, hey, once Maximus left the Brotherhood with the cold fusion, we never went back there. What happened?
Pretty much, yeah.
Right. So then now we see what happened. So they go back. We see that his friend that was there, she had found another relic. Right. What was it?
She had some sort of scroll case.
Remnant, right? Remnant. Yep. She found that. She tells Quintus. He comes over and he sees it, and she was like, "What does this mean?" And he was like, "All right, well, I'm no longer Quintus the Unifier, right? I am the
Mhm.
Death, or was it the Death Destroyer?
He said in
Destroyer?
my ignorance, I tried to what did he say? I tried to
The
bring
Unifier, be the
no, I tried to
Unifier.
unify. I
Yeah,
tried to unify the Brotherhood, and now I know better. And now Quintus the Unifier is
no,
dead, and
hmm
Quintus the Destroyer
yeah,
is born. And
exactly.
he unrolls what was in the case on the desk, and the camera zooms down, and it's the plans for the Liberty Prime robot from
And there
Fallout
you
3.
go. Now, and of course you hear all the shooting and stuff in the background, and people are not sure what's going on. That's the other factions of the Brotherhood still fighting from the fallout, from with
Mm-hmm.
the Maximus and Thaddeus and all that stuff that took place.
Yep.
These people are still fighting. The whole thing is happening. I mean,
Mhm.
it's a mess. It's a mess. So at least we know that they're going to play a part, which is no surprise. I mean, they're a big part of the game. Did
Mhm.
you ever play? And we can might as well we're in the post now. Thanks again, everybody. But if you want to hear some more thoughts, we're just getting into some of that stuff. Did you ever play Brotherhood of Steel when it was just like remember that like a shooter over the
No,
top, running around? Wasn't turn
no, I
based or
didn't get to
anything?
play it. No.
That was interesting, and I
Oh,
wonder if
Tactics. You're talking about Fallout Tactics with the
not
Brotherhood on
tac,
the
not
no?
they were just shooting. It was almost like a Diablo type,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that was Tactics.
That was Tactics? I don't remember if it had that part. Yeah, but it was an old one. I think it was on
Yeah.
PS2 or 3 or something.
Mhm.
But I remember playing that and I was like, "Oh, so maybe some of the story is pulling," because they said they were gonna pull
Yeah.
from everything. And of course, our mindset instantly goes to Fallout 3,
Vegas
4,
3
New
and 4 and
Vegas.
76,
It
right?
all makes sense.
The
But then
modern
yeah, the
right.
modern stuff. But it's all fair game. It's all canon if you want to go with all the other
True,
spin-offs. And if you want
true.
to go with the early interplay games, like you brought up the old PC versions, that's where I found it. I found it on
Mhm.
PC back in the
Yeah.
day playing that. And my mind was
Nice.
blown when Fallout 3 came out. I could not believe that we were playing this in first person in this world like that.
Right.
Game changing.
Nice, nice,
But
nice.
hey, everybody. Thank you for sticking with us for season
Yeah.
2 of
A
Fallout.
whole
This has been
season.
great. A whole season. And we did it. And it sounds like we're not going to have to wait long for season 3 because they've already started with all that. And which makes sense because they knew that it was approved season 2 and 3 at the same
Yeah,
time.
it's already in production.
It's all already, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty
So
sure they're over the filming aspect. They're in post prod, and we'll probably have something in less than a year.
yeah. Amazon said that they're thrilled with the numbers. Thrilled with the numbers, the
Good.
response. I mean, hell, why are we even getting it on a Tuesday? What did they say in the emails they sent me? They were like, "Oh, due to the popular demand, due to the people's enthusiasm for the show, we're bumping
Mhm.
this a day early for the final 2 episodes."
Yeah,
Threw
yeah,
a
yeah,
lot of people off in the loop because I saw some people surprised by that. Not everybody
yeah,
knows,
yeah.
but yeah, no, it's great. It's great. So thanks again, everybody. Thanks for the likes, the subs, the follows, the comments. Go ahead, put your thoughts. What did you think of this season?
Yeah,
What are
let
you
us
looking
know.
forward to season 3? Are you hyped? Are you not hyped? You moving on to something else? But yeah, it was fun. And
Yes.
we'll see you
I
again.
I
Well,
look
go
forward
ahead.
to I look forward to doing this again with you. Thank you, Adam, for having me.
Yeah.
You
No
know what I
doubt.
mean?
No doubt. This is it. And we'll be back with the next show, which is Cross. Right. That's 3 episodes they drop. Also a Prime Video show. That's February 11th. 3
Mm.
episodes. We'll have an individual episode for each one. So you could just jump in and out whenever. If you watch one, watch the second. Maybe you don't watch
Peace.
any of them and you just want to see if it's even worth watching. I've had a lot of people say that from some of the other shows. They're like, I'll hear you guys talk about it and see if it's worth my time. So far, knock on wood, they've been almost all of them have been worth your time, except Gen V. That was not worth anyone's time. Did not like season 2, not at all.
Leave Gen V alone. Stop it.
I'm sorry, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. All right,
Yeah, yeah.
everybody, peace.
Peace.